sight. Of course, as one matures, one's horizons will expand, and so a 10-minute journey for a young adolescent may in fact feel like an endless journey. But fast forward only a couple of years, and one will truly know what a real journey feels like as it unfolds.
A philosophical someone once said, "If the past was what we were meant to see, then behind, not in front, my eyes would be." My head must be screwed on backwards, or at best, I'm extremely cockeyed. The eyes are a portal to another place full of magic and mystery. My big blues, my best feature, so I'm told, sees the past so clearly that the present fades and yesterday becomes today. We were crossing the Brooklyn Bridge, my dad at the wheel, Mom sitting beside him, humming off tune. The 2 suitcases by my feet rattled in sync as the car's tires bumped over the metal treads on the bridge's pavement. The East River below us was calm, the sun's rays beaming off the surface of the river as if someone had scattered lightning bugs on the shallow waves. "Look up," my dad said. "Can you find her?" Oh, where are you, Diana, Roman goddess of the hunt?" The game my dad always enjoyed playing each and every time we crossed from Brooklyn into downtown Manhattan. I sat up straighter and I leaned forward across the back seat. "See, I found her, Dad," I cried out in triumph. I pointed and looked out the window at the wonder of the golden statue shooting an arrow across the tops of the tall buildings, surrounding her like a forest. Diana, atop Madison Square Garden, pointed her arrow towards our final destination, just a few blocks north, Penn Station. The slow-moving line of traffic ahead of us towards the entrance to Penn Station sang its own melody of squeaking brakes, Dad's fingers thumping impatiently on the steering wheel, and Mom humming off tune. Lining the road, impossibly tall columns loomed on either side of Dad's slow-moving Buick, casting shadows that blinked off the car's window as we passed. Hey guys, in my social studies class, we just learned the names of 3 Roman columns. I can tell that these are Ionic. See, the columns are fluted at the top. There is a flattened scroll with curlicue thingies around the edges. I showed off my wannabe super geniusness. Right you are, princess. It seems as if today we're up to our eyeballs with all roads leading to Rome, except, in this case, you and Mom are taking a minor detour to Miami Beach. Dad snickered at his own little joke. Finally, first on line, Dad pulled close to the curb, stopped the car, and jumped out, grabbed the 2 suitcases from the back seat, and opened the doors for Mom and me to step out. Signaling for a red-cap porter, Dad handed Mom our tickets, kissed and hugged us, and waved goodbye as he got back into the Buick. I cried, knowing how much I would miss my dad over the next 2 months, but the little jump of excitement in my belly eased the ache when I thought about sitting on rocking chairs on the hotel veranda while Grandpa told me his favorite stories of the old country. Our suitcases stacked under his arm, the red cap led us through the central hallway of the Grand Station towards the sign marked tracks. I felt the warmth of the winter sun streaming through the ceiling of the bubble-shaped glass domes, crisscrossed with ribbons of black iron. I craned my neck to look up at the wonder over my head. The ceiling is 69 feet high, young lady, a wonder of architecture. I would say, and no matter how many times I cross this platform, I am in awe. Amazing, yes? I see you are as impressed as I am, the porter smiled. Mom took my hand and warned me about tripping as we made our way down the wide, semicircular staircase leading to track 12, bordering passengers traveling to Miami aboard the Miami Special Super Train. This wasn't our first rodeo. Mom and I had spent the last 3 winters enjoying a winter's getaway with Grandma and Grandpa in sunny Florida. But much to my excitement, Dad had splurged on tickets, awarding us the luxury of not having to sit up in the straight back seats during the entire 27-hour train ride. We had the tickets, we had the berths, we had real beds to lie down on, sheets, pillows, blankets, and a blue velvet curtain to pull across the bed for the additional luxury of privacy. Here we are, folks. Enjoy your trip, my friend. The appreciative lover of architecture handed our suitcases over to the Whitecap, who reached out his hand to help me and Mom up the 3 metal steps leading into the train. Your tickets say berths 3 and 3A. The Whitecap pointed and directed us down the narrow aisle. I'll take the top, Mom. I eyed the steep little ladder flanking the berths 3 and 3A. I climbed up. I crawled onto the bed and declared that this was my own special paradise. Wow. This was truly going to be the best trip to Miami ever. The dining car, set with elegantly appointed tables topped with white cloths and starched napkins, a vase of red roses in the center, which clinked softly with the vibrations of the train's movement, and white glove service serving my favorite meal of roast beef, mashed potatoes, and string beans, made me feel like the princess that my dad always referred to me by. Freshly squeezed orange juice, a joy on my tongue during breakfast the next morning, seemed like a natural since we were heading towards the Orange State. Although the last car of the train was affectionately known as the observation car, I couldn't understand what there was to observe except for the dizzying sight of the railroad tracks running backward. But if you observe the people playing cards, reading newspapers, and laughing, because they were happy, I guess, technically, you could call it observing. I had a lot of fun observing, especially when a little brat had a hissy fit and threw himself on the floor. I pulled the little white string drawing the curtain aside to uncover the window. It was just turning light. I sat up as straight as I could without bumping my head on the ceiling of the berth to watch for the acres and acres of orange groves which grew close to the tracks. Ah, yay! There they were, clumps of round balls of orange dotting the green leaves, dripping off branches like Christmas light ornaments. We're in Florida. The orange groves tell me so. I smiled broadly. Mom and I washed up in the tiny but serviceable bathroom as we readied ourselves to step down the 3 metal steps onto the platform in Miami Beach, Florida. The Whitecap was waiting for us at the doorway, our luggage at his side, as he helped us leave the Miami Special. Yes, I knew for sure now that we were in Florida. The familiar and welcoming scent of tropic air assured me so.